It is a mistake to look at the handsome person in popular culture as someone that is benefiting from their culture's kind of harmless, sneaky kind of competition in the capitalist systems and any other system that is allowed on the planet. The reality of the situation is all cultures are pure evil, and the people who are allowed to be more handsome than others, with me being the only exception, are among the most evil. Okay, how did you become so handsome if not generations of trickery-based sex and extracting the genes of the more attractive women? It's very obvious when you think about it. You work the angles, you see that, hey, I must be right. So now let's consider the females that are around right now as well. Okay, when we consider the principle of atonement, redemption, and truth, we must consider how females are treated. Even in popular culture, you have the damsel in distress in cartoons, etc. Okay, and plenty of stories in the Bible about women being abused and people taking action. So we have the sayings of Lemuel, an inspired utterance his mother taught him. It's either Psalms 31 or Proverbs 31. I have a lot to do anyway. Listen, my son, the answer to my prayers. Do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. Okay, you see how she's right? Part of the reason I don't know if this is Psalms or Proverbs is because there's no women helping me out. Okay, and it goes on to say, this is his mother saying it. His mother said, listen, my son, the answer to my prayers. Do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. This is another reason why females should submit. It goes on in verse 10 to say, a wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. In a predominantly Christian country with no viable counterargument, how can they pretend that I'm wrong? They're fucking retarded if they think Lady Gaga fans or Nicki Minaj fans or these corporate sluts, etc. are, yeah, I'll be right there, are of noble character. And obviously you see me being interrupted and so on and so forth. This is also related to being shunned. There are countless females with a lot of money in this society. There's no reason for me to be stuck at home when I'm the only good, handsome person, perhaps in all of American history, other than my father. There's no excuse for that. It's just despicable, just pathetic. Speaking of that, when it comes to moral judgment, the burden of proof, and submission to the last true king, let us consider 4 points that prove that females should be executed if they reject me. Now, this is a controversial statement, I know it. I'm going to throw it out there. You're going to see that I'm right, and you're going to start feeling some type of way if there's any humanity left in you. Number 1, to be moral, it takes moral will, moral precision, moral judgment, moral clarity, moral sensitivity, moral intelligence, and in this society, at least focused moral intensity, just to be moral. Just to be moral, it takes these things, right? Or you have no chance of being moral. Just have a chance to be moral. You have to have these things, okay? Number 2, natural moral breeding and the natural moral direction of a society are connected. A true natural leader is established through generational righteousness. I use the example of, name one culture in European history that has romantic continuity. It doesn't exist. This is part of why Christianity took hold in Rome, because the Celts, the Vikings, the Goths, you can go through the entire thing. They're all, this is barbarian land. Conan the Barbarian, right? The Huns, okay? These people were barbarians, okay? They were Greco-Roman pederastry, little kid fucking crazy people who thought that erotic desire was love. Their great philosophers that are still embraced today said that the erotic desire for a little kid, little boy, leads to true love, basically. It's basically what they're saying, what they're getting at. They were pedophiles. They thought the true love was only between men, and it was most virtuous with a little boy who wasn't corrupted yet by society's kind of misteachings and so on. They were fucking insane. No idea of what love was. In Africa, you had martial arts systems where righteousness and love went together for effective and precise surgical falcon striking. Someone like me, I come from a long line of people that have no reason to trick women into sex, no reason to rape. Okay? They submit to the righteous martial art royal leader. Okay? So where do they come from? Okay? Where does the moral leader come from? Generational righteousness. These other guys don't have it. Other Africans don't have it. It is the specific type of African who's the only one on the planet that has it. Point number 3. No one should put their desire for fun over the good of all of humanity. Okay? No one should put their desire for fun over the good of all of humanity. Point number 4. What do we see already in the cultures of the world where women are allowed to reject someone like me? Every culture comes short of morality because one of the main reasons is because women are allowed to reject women like me, people like me. Other men are basically females compared to me. They're allowed to reject people like me, for these bitches who do not have the moral will to serve God. By default, to reject my path makes one an animal, a whore, evil, scum, betrayer, a demon, a rapist, an accomplice, a coward, stupid, unwise, shallow, worldly, dishonorable, disgraced, a slave to something other than God, selfish, indifferent, sociopathic traits at least, delusional, narcissistic traits, hedonistic traits, greedy, profane, depraved, immoral, cruel, simple-minded, short-sighted, a bitch, a deceptive liar, and devilish by default. This is the direction. Creating people who are a worse form of those things. Every generation. You're insane if you think that a female shouldn't be shouldn't be executed for rejecting someone like me. Just me working on my videos alone, forced into my parents' house in a society where there's countless attractive women with their own place, proves my point to a T, overkills my point to a T. You're a dumbass if you think that these little slipped-on words that they've caused by covertly drugging me makes it so you shouldn't understand what I'm saying. If you don't know what I'm saying, I assure you, you are a stupid fuck. There's no excuse for that kind of stupidity.